I've talked a lot about job shortages because of COVID, but some professions were shorthanded way before the pandemic. A recent report by the American Bar Association shows Oregon desperately needs more public defenders. Devin Haskins is live in our newsroom this morning with more on all of this. So Devin, this report really highlights how bad the situation is.
Yeah, good morning, Brenda. It really does. It's a problem the state has known about for years and has tried in the past to get funding for. Oregon's public defense system is funded by a state agency that contracts with nonprofits and attorneys with each county. Those needing their help aren't able to hire an attorney of their own because they simply can't afford one. The report was requested and funded by the legislature and was released on Friday. It shows the state's public defense system is overworked and severely understaffed. Currently, there are about 592 full-time public defenders. This report says it would take a public defender for working 28 hours a day to close the amount of cases there are. So to fill the large gap, Oregon would need to hire almost 1,300 more public defenders. That means they're down about 70% of what they need. The Oregon Public Defense System's executive director says it'll take more money and time to fix the problem. And he says it's only going to get worse before it gets better as attorneys and investigators leave because of burnout and poor pay.
So that's creating a downward spiral where they're leaving and we keep going downward. And what we need to do is reverse that spiral so we can increase the pay, keep folks in the system, attract new folks into the system so that we can reduce the workload, and that'll create an upward spiral.
Now, the state has tried to get the department funding in the past. Most recently, in 2019, the legislature passed emergency funding that would have spent $20 million to the agency. But then the pandemic happened. That money was pulled back as the state started cutting back on spending. Drew?
All right, Devin, thanks for that report from our newsroom this morning.